Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we are doing another Hour of Devastation Amonkhet Intermediate Swiss Draft League. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Okay, so we have this Earthshaker Kenra, which is a good card. 2 mana, 2/1 haste, and when it enters the battlefield, target creature with power less than or equal to its power can't block, which is good, and then it's got Eternalize on top of that. So for 6 mana, it comes back as a 4/4 hasty creature that also gets rid of a blocker. Pretty awesome rare. I still think Struggle probably is going to be better. Instant speed, kill spell, that can scale pretty nicely. So I think that's probably the pick over the rare, though Earthshaker Kenra is legit. This card is very good. I still think a 3 mana instant, even though Survive is, well, it's not completely worthless. It's just not that useful most of the time, I would say. But Struggle is certainly good, so I'm fine first picking that. And yeah, moving on from there. But Earthshaker Kenra, certainly a good card. I hope it's not worth a fortune. I'd feel like an idiot. All right, 78 cents. We're good. Ooh, Nimble Obstructionist is a really good card. I'm actually surprised to... and it's worth 2 tickets too, but it's actually just a good card. Like, besides the fact that it's worth 2 tickets... Flat 3 power, okay, 3 mana, 3 power Flash Flyer. You can cycle it to counter stuff too. It's pretty awesome. I don't even know if I would remember to counter activated or triggered abilities with that, but I think we gotta take this. We're taking it over Kenra Scrapper, which I actually think is a great card too. 3 mana, 2/3 menace, already good. And then on top of that, you can exert it and make it 4/3. This card is good. I think, yeah, I mean, that's actually tough, but I'm gonna take the Obstructionist. There's also Lethal Sting in here, which is some pretty good removal. It's true. I'm still going to take the Obstructionist. I think this card's excellent. Flash Flyer, 3 mana, 3 power. That's really good. What's this Doomfall do? They have to exile a creature they control, or they reveal their... That's okay. Usually Sacrifice isn't so good. I mean, it's exile, so I guess it's better than Sacrifice. It is, because at least it gets around Embalm, which is kind of cool. Could take this Unquenchable Thirst. I'm a little bit higher up on that card than normal. I think we take the strongest card in this pack, though, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. The Screecher's probably okay, but 4 mana, 1 toughness, even though it's a zombie. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Granitic Titan is pretty unexciting because it's expensive. I think this Devotee of Strength is actually might just be the best card. This card, I think, is actually going to be really good in the format. Because you get to the point where you just can't deal with it. You can't deal with attacking with a bunch of creatures and their blockers, and you have 5 mana up. Like, sometimes they just can't do anything about it. So I think that is actually the best card in there. So a couple red cards, a few red cards, I should say. Could take the Naga. Naga's fine. Firebrand Archer's fine. A lot of kind of fine cards in here. Aven, fine. Basically all the cards in here are fine. We'll probably take the 3 mana 3/3, I guess. I don't know if that's correct, though. Could just take the Death Touch Rat. It's not that exciting either. It's okay. It's got Death Touch. I think the Harrier Naga's pretty playable as a 3 mana 3/3. Admittedly, it's not super exciting. I guess we'll take it anyway. Okay. I think I'm almost like kind of down on the Sharpshooters. It's not that I think they're bad, because they're not. It's just they're not great either. Vigilance Reach is fairly nice, but I don't know. Here I could take the Desert. The Cycle Land. Kind of want the Gift of Strength. I feel like this is a pretty legitimate combat trick. 2 mana +3/+3. Pretty much will get you past anything. I don't know how important these Cycle Lands are yet. I'm still sort of feeling my way through that. Maybe we let's take them higher for now. Even though I think Gift of Strength is actually a pretty good card. We'll take the Deserts a little bit higher this time around and see what we think. This is not a desert, though. That's right. Second fix, I guess. Could take the Frilled Sandwall. I actually like this card. Could take the Gift of Strength. Or the Trample Cycler. Probably take the Frilled Sandwalla. Actually, the Kinra Scrapper is in here. That card is certainly the best one out of all these. I think this card is fantastic. This card has to be able to just put people away. But we don't know if we're red. I'd like to play Struggle if I could. And seeing a Scrapper this late's a little surprising. But having all these 3-drops is a little bit concerning. I'll take the Scrapper anyway. I think it's actually a really good card. Okay, so now we can take Sandwalla. There's this Desert. It's kind of cool. The Desert Mill deck. Could take the Kindled Fury. Probably just take the Frilled Sandwalla over the Kindled Fury here. Probably. So we'll do that. Okay, so we can take another Desert if we want. Or we can take the Kindled Fury again. I probably will still just take the Desert. Let's be up on Deserts and see what we think. So we can take another one. Some blue cards in here that are pretty good. Dauntless Haven's actually pretty cool with Exert, but we'll take, I guess, another Desert. Well, be Desert deck here. So some reasonable cards here. 7-drop 5/5 hexproof is it's okay. I'll take the Rat. I feel like the Rat's got to be decent. None of these cards are particularly exciting. I'll have to make a mill deck one of these days. I guess we'll take the Crook because deals with some stuff. I don't know. Nothing exciting here. A Zombie Wall. A tap card. Neither of these matter. They both have cycling. Alright. Yet another. Well, we'll take the red card here. Take the playable spell. Alright. Interesting pack one. So we got 3 deserts. Unesh. Is Unesh worth anything? A ticket. I probably just want Unesh here because I also have the Nimble Obstructionist, so I at least the fact that I have 2 rare blue cards, if I take this, might just be what we're looking for, honestly. There's not really a good... This is okay. Well, it's 3/1/2. This card's actually pretty good, but I could take it. I think Unesh is probably going to win us more games, though. Big Fat Flyer with built-in Factor Fiction, probably what we're looking for. We only have 3 red cards, and we could theoretically splash, but we'll see. I'm going to take Unesh. Very powerful card. So there's the green desert that would let us convert our deserts into pumps, which is not bad. We could take the Puncturing Blow in red. Could take the Aerial Guide. I actually think this is a good card. I think Aerial Guide is good. A flyer that makes other things that you're attacking with fly is pretty good. We don't even know what color we are yet, is that right? So we have... I guess we have like 3 red, so we could go red, blue, or... We want to be blue, I think, because both our blue rares are pretty good. So we could take like Bloodwater Entity, which would let us get back the struggle. The Crash Through is probably not something we're super looking for. It also has Prowess, though, which is good. So is it better than Aerial Guide? It doesn't actually give you card advantage, but it is pretty good. And then, yeah, Puncturing Blow kills things and exiles, too, which is not bad. Maybe it's better. Alright, I'm going to take the... I'm going to assume we're going... Assume red-blue is what we're supposed to do. Imaginary threats. Creatures target opponents controls attack. During the player's next untap step, creatures he or she controls don't untap. Well, that's not bad. There's the Reed Stalker. It cycles as well, so it's pretty useful. Could take the Eternal. There's another Puncturing Blow. More exciting than the Kenra. So we could take the Spellweaver Eternal. It's probably at home in red-blue. But we don't want too many 4-drops. Yeah, I guess that's our first one. Like, if I do red-blue... We're still looking pretty good, aren't we? So I can take another puncturing blow, I guess. It's sorcery speed, which is a little bit less good, but it does exile, which can be useful. I'm going to take it. I'm going to see if the format has slowed down enough where these become quite good. So here's Riddle form. We could take the Manolith. It lets us splash green, but I guess we don't need to. I can take Cunning Survivor. It's a nice 2-drop. We don't have a lot of... Well, we do, I guess, have some cycling, don't we? Not a ton. Manolith is fairly unexciting, though. Riddle form is okay. None of this is really all that great. I mean, this is probably at its best in red-blue, but... Well... I'm going to take Riddle form. We'll try it. I'm going to try this out. Desert of the Mindful, the Reed Stalker, Manolith, Traveler's Amulet. Do I want the blue desert? We have all these deserts and no real desert payoffs, which is well, I mean they're cycle lands, so it's not like they're bad. Reed Stalker's probably pretty decent actually. Instant speed is nice. Could use some more creatures. All right. Another desert. Tragic Lesson is actually pretty good. You want to have this instant speed stuff because you want to be able to flash something in, or maybe even instant speed make this a 3/3. Just stuff like that. So I think that's a sensible pick here. Kindled Fury is certainly a good playable combat trick. So Cunning Survivor versus Kindled Fury number 2. There's also a Sandblast, which is good. Could take the Cunning Survivor. Like I said, we don't have a ton of cycle, but we're going to need to lower our curve if we want this deck to work, so I think we'll take it. I guess we can take the Defiant Kenra, but Reed Stalker number 2 or Tragic Lesson number 2 as well. Kenra is just a bear, a red bear. It's not even a super relevant creature type, so I don't know. Another 4-drop seems unnecessary, though. We'll take the 2-drop, though. I'm not super excited about it. Alright, getting the Entity is pretty nice, actually. I think this card is good, and we actually have some pretty good stuff to return now, or at least to get back. So, Resolute Survivors. Yeah, this card's actually kind of cool, but I don't think we can splash it, so we'll take another Reed Stalker, which is fine. We'll take the Wheeled Desert, I guess. Don't need the green one anymore, but 3 red ones might be a bit excessive. I don't know. Alright, we'll take the Kenra. Granitic Titan, sure. I mean, certainly playable. Okay, pretty interesting deck, actually. I don't think we're in a bad spot. Especially considering we have 2 pretty good rares. I mean, Nimble Obstructionist seems like more of a constructed style card, because that would be where you'd find the most use out of the cycle effect. But actually, I mean, a 3-mana, 3-power flyer, that's good. This thing will put games away, absolutely. So I have no problems with that. Okay, so we have Hieroglyphic Illumination, Sensor, Shimmer Scale Drake, River Serpent. All of these are fine. We could take another flyer. I was kind of down on Shimmer Scale Drake and Triple Amonkhet, but if you watch my Triple Amonkhet, you kind of got an impression of basically how I felt the format was just hyper aggro, just because there was so much efficient, cheap creatures. But, I mean, the assumption now is that it has slowed down. I guess that remains to be seen. Maybe I'll just take the Drake here. Sensor is not super exciting. Drake can kill. Illumination is actually pretty good too. We do have the Tragic Lesson already. I'll take the Drake. Okay. So now there's Slitherblade, which we can't really pump, and we might wheel. Inciter, which is pretty reasonable. I actually think Kopesh is fine. Sure Shot might be the pick. It's got reach, it's inflatable. I wouldn't mind the Inciter, but Seems less useful with cards like Reed Stalker that you want to flash in. Like, I kind of like being more of a little flash deck. Kopech actually seems pretty reasonable with our flyers. I kind of like it, and it turns on Riddle form as well, which currently isn't looking fantastic in this deck, but I think we're definitely going to wheel one of the cards we want, whether it be, I mean, there's also Cartouche, but I think all the Cartouches got worse, because you only have one pack now to collect on Trials and Cartouches, so let's just take the Sure Shot, which I know is a pretty good 3. Ooh, Enigma Drake. Well, Enigma Drake's good. Could wheel it, so I could take the Entangler instead, but I'm going to take the Drake. I mean, this is kind of potentially the ideal deck for it. And I think we'll be able to get some more spells too. I think we're going to find some more to synergize with it. So we can take like Winds of Rebuke now because we already have 14 creatures. So we'll take that over like Skirmisher and Initiate. And actually Winds of Rebuke is perfect with cards like Enigma Drake because it feeds your graveyard as well. Which I think is good. Doesn't this feed? Yeah, and this feeds your graveyard too. That's pretty sweet. Alright. Winds of Rebuke. Okay, so we have Floodwaters, which cycles, which has synergy, I guess, with our like Cunning Survivor, but so does Tormenting Voice, and it's cheaper. So I think we'll take the Tormenting Voice. I guess I was gonna say Removal Light, but I don't actually think we are. Like, actually, let's get rid of this Crash Through It. This probably seems like a card we're not likely to play. So I'll take the Tormenting Voice here. I'm still wondering if I want to play. I haven't decided yet if I want to play 17 lands or not. With 3 cycle lands, I feel like I'm kind of more okay with it, to be honest. I'll take the Skirmisher here over Oracle's Vault. Oracle's Vault is fine. I don't think I want it, though. I'll take a Skirmisher. Okay. Trial of Knowledge. Even Initiate is a flyer. Floodwater, Sure Shot. Certainly fine cards in here. Reducer Rebel I don't really like that much. So I might just take the Initiate here. I was down on this card in Triple Amonkhet, but I think I like it more now, probably. And I might be, like I said, okay playing 17 lands if I've got 3 cycle lands too. Might be more okay with that. We'll find out. Winds of Rebuke number 2 we'll take. Illumination's great. Definitely taking that. Okay. We're kind of doing it. This deck has pretty much everything I want. Like Graven Abomination might be the weakest creature now that our deck has. Slither, well, we did wheel a bunch of cards. The question is, do we need any of them? I think the answer is no. I have 10 non-creature cards for Riddle form, which might be enough. This also scries. I'm still going to have to think about that one. But Slitherblade is a 1-drop. Inciter is fine. It's just not great. Inciter, I like the evasion. Do I like Slitherblade more than Defiant Kenra? I might. I'm going to take it. It might be better. I don't actually know. Cunning Survivor's not great in this deck either. Nor is Granitic Titan. I guess Titan... Well, ooh. Entangler comes back. That's actually kind of surprising. Card is good. I'll take the Skirmisher over the Initiate. I guess Initiate lets you push damage through, but we have evasion. We don't need to worry about that. Alright, maybe we can play 16 lands. I mean, this is like kind of an absurd amount of 2-drops now. I'll take the Cradle. If we play 16 lands, do I still play triple cycle land? Maybe not. Got all these deserts and no need for them. How sad is that? Alright, Violent Impact. Sideboard. So, pretty cool deck, I guess. I mean, basically, we have a good amount of flyers, good amount of evasion. We have the Slitherblade. This can evade. This evades. Evade, evade. So we have like quite a few flyers actually. But we just have to figure out like what we're cutting here, right? So let's figure that out. So we're probably playing all these deserts. And figure out what we're cutting. So we need to cut, if we want to play 16 lands, we cut 4 cards. Which doesn't seem too tough. We can probably cut a Granitic Titan. We have enough top end. We can cut probably a Defiant Kenra because it's kind of whatever. Maybe we cut them both. I'd rather play the Skirmishers and the Entangler and the Slitherblade than the straight bears. I could play a straight bear over Cunning Survivor, but we have, I guess, a reasonable amount of... We have 10 non-creature spells. I could actually cut one more. I'm debating whether I want the Riddle form or not, actually. Because it is only a 2-drop, and I guess it does beat down if you can cast a spell every turn. And 10, so 1 in every 4 spells is going to activate Riddle form. It also has the built-in Scry 1 thing, which is not bad. I don't know. It's kind of debatable. But maybe I should cut something else. I can cut 1 creature. My weakest creature is probably... It's probably Slitherblade, actually. I could see that, because I don't have anything to interact with it, really. So I'd be willing to go to 14 creatures and run something like this. I think this is actually fine. And we still have how many ways to pump the Cunning Survivor? Because remember, it's discard as well. So 1, 2, potentially... You can cycle this. That's 3, 4, 5. Only 5 ways. So this is going to be a 1/3 most of the time. That isn't that exciting. Maybe we are supposed to do the Slitherblade then. Okay. Maybe something like this. This actually looks fine to me. Okay. Why don't we try this out? So evasion with 10 non-creature spells, which is pretty reasonable. Good removal. We'll try out these Puncturing Blows. I was a little hesitant because it's 2 red. It's 4 mana sorcery, double red, but it does exile. So we'll see. We'll see what I think of Puncturing Blow in the end. I don't like that it's a sorcery, but that's okay. So we'll run the 3 deserts. I think that's probably fine. Don't need a forest. So we do have double red, but we probably want to do something like this, 8 and 8. Because we do actually have the... Well, yeah, we need red on turn 2 as well. Okay. 8 and 8 seems fine. Curve's not too high. Is 3 deserts, 3 cycle tap lands too much? Maybe. Let's run 1 less. For some reason 2 seems a little more reasonable for a deck like this. I feel like 3 is excessive. Just because they do intertapped, we have double red. So I'm just going to run 2 of them. And we'll give them a try, the cycle lands, see what I think of them. It does feel like 3 is a bit excessive. Overall, looks like a fun deck. Yeah, it actually looks fine. So we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.